Hello and welcome. We are live. The music ended, and I was not quite ready for it to end just yet. But I'm here. You're here. We're gonna chat GI Joe Classified, specifically some details related to GI Joe Classified in Canada. As this week there is some news, and I do have some information. I've been just trolling all my sources to get some insider information. I've gotten little bits and pieces from a few different spots, and I've sort of put some of it together, and I'm going to share a little bit of that with you in due time. We'll talk about a couple other things first, and we'll get into that. What's going on, Larry? I saw you were selling some stuff in the group. Great prices. That stuff's gonna move, man. There's always somebody that needs something, right? There's always a figure that somebody missed out on or passed on or needs a second. Maybe they got a boxed one and they want to open one. But what's up, Mr. McLeod, aka Mr. 80, aka Chris, aka Diagnostic 80. I know that Chris is deep in the edit for some cool stuff that's gonna get posted, and as soon as it gets posted, obviously I'm gonna share it. Which is unfortunately why he couldn't join me today, but we'll see the fruits of that labor very soon, I'm sure. Mike, what's going on, buddy? I haven't chatted with you in what, an hour, maybe two. Canada is right. It's funny, you guys. The last few days since kind of word got out, since the news got out that Canada's getting some of those figures potentially ahead of the U.S. guys, there's been a ton of people trying to join. I say trying because for the most part, I don't let them in, because if somebody's just coming in to snatch up what we got, I think we've got a pretty decent sized group. And for me, and I discussed this with Chad, who is also on, it's not really about the numbers in the group for us. It's about the quality of the people. It's about the community. It's about, all that kind of stuff. So to have somebody try to sort of get in the group just to kind of leech something out of it. I've declined more group requests in the last few days than I have approved. So Chris saying deep in the edit. Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. I know you've got two. You've got the roundtable as well as your own interview with Emily and Lenny. So I'm looking forward to both of those. Larry, pretty much all gone now. It pays for most of my pre-orders in July. Perfect. I mean, stay ahead of the curve. That's the way to do it, man. Mike, been too long. Yeah. That's we spoke sort of first thing this morning, and I guess it's been a while. So happy for you guys in North America, says Chris. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because there are a few Americans in the group, and I have no problem with Americans, or people that live in America that are from somewhere else. It's there's people that have made connections with Americans, and there's sort of a back and forth in terms of what we can find, what they can find, stuff like that. But I remember sort of early days of Classified. Part of the reason that we sort of built this group up was you'd reach out to somebody in the States that had, an extra Baroness. I mean, looking back now, we were hunting for Baroness, and now, it's ridiculous. We were hunting Baroness, and I multiple people that had them, I would say, hey, would you ship it to Canada? Nope, I'm not shipping it outside the US. So we got wise. We started our Canadian group, and, now they're on the outside looking in. So go figure, I guess. Hello, Nigel. Welcome. So they northed it twice. North by north is, I think, officially how you sort of get here. Roundtable is done. Yes. So is that going up today? And then we'll see the other one, tomorrow, Tuesday, something like that. That was done rapidly, just waiting on approval to drop it. Oh, right, right, okay, yeah, because you did that with a bunch of other presenters, other newsies, as it were, and then you did yours. So you're working on your own interview with Lenny and Emily. I'm really excited for that one because um, I feel like I know what kind of questions you're going to ask, um, and they're gonna be bangers, I'm sure. So get all the hard hitting questions out of the way first, and then ask them the soft ones. Right? That's how to do it. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. There's a bunch of people watching. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be fun. Um, did I catch when Slaughter is to drop? No, I did not. And to the best of my knowledge, there's no date yet. So that was a digital render. My guess is we'll probably see the physical reveal in June. Is my best guess. Will it be Yojo June, or will it be before that, or it's sort of the official sort of Yojo June event, or before that, remains to be seen. If it's anything like past June's, we will probably see different reveals. We'll probably get bits and pieces throughout the whole month. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him come out separate from sort of the Yojo June event, beforehand, because we've already seen it, or Mindbender sort of come out before the Yojo June event, because the whole month is Yojo June. So there could be releases sort of at any time. You just have to be ready. You just have to be paying attention all the time. They can't say yet, but it looks like June. Yes, and I think that's makes perfect sense, right? And I'll sort of get into more dates, because, like I said, between sort of information that I've gotten um, from other people, other collectors, from a couple retailers, from sort of a bunch of different spots, I've sort of tried to put a whole bunch of stuff together to at least give us some idea of when some of these figures might be hitting our mailboxes, or store shelves, or pre-orders, or what have you. And when I actually started getting into it, I was actually kind of intrigued, because some of the dates are weird, and some of them are like earlier than normal, some of them are later. They've moved around. They're constantly changing, and there's virtually no predicting them. But I'm gonna try, just on the off chance that maybe I get one or two right. But we'll get into that in just a moment. Hey, Kevin, what's going on, buddy? All right. But first and foremost, a little bit of personal news. Hold on one second. I forgot to close my door there. A little bit of personal news. As some of you may know, but not many of you may know, I am, well, not me personally, but my wife is expecting our third child. And that child, which is a boy, will be arriving this Thursday. As such, I will be taking more or less the month of May off, but back sort of better than ever for June. There's going to be some tweaks. There's going to be some changes in the group. With three kids, and sort of with kind of a renewed optimism and sort of hopefulness. I in a sort of an ironic way, I'm going to be much less willing to put up with people's bullshit. It's going to be positive energy, positive vibes, sort of going forward. So comments are going to start getting deleted. Posts are going to start getting deleted if the conversation kind of goes crooked. There's plenty of groups for negativity. I'm not having it anymore. I will also potentially be changing sort of the format of these videos. It may not be weekly anymore. It may be sort of bi-weekly, and then event inspired. So if there's a reveal or something, we may do a quick live that evening, just to sort of change it up. I'm also going to kind of transition to trying to do more of this sort of on YouTube, so that it hits a little bit wider audience. As I personally kind of transition into doing some other videos that are less G.I. Joe specific. But we'll see how that all plays out. I got a month to sort of figure it out. So, but all of that aside, Um, you guys are here for classified stuff. Let's talk about classified stuff. Chris says, I'm going to need all to send me the new classified figures and I will never repay the favor. Is that cool? Yes. I would say that given your track record and how much you do for the community, I think that's fair. Um, and if I could get them to you, I would. Maybe we'll talk after. Maybe I can get them to you. I'll do some digging, sort of figure that out. Hello, Tristan. How's it going, buddy? Chris says, congratulations. Thank you. Facebook user says, thank you, or says, congratulations. Thank you. Named Mike E. Collectibles Drake. No, unfortunately, that was in the long list, but that got vetoed. My wife had actually essentially picked the name out months and months ago. We have 2 daughters, but we had a short list of names for boys. The name has been picked for months. Basically, when we found out it was going to be a boy, we kind of already had the name picked out. So you will find out soon enough, but we're not telling anybody. Our kids don't even know. Our family doesn't even know. That's sort of the one thing that we sort of keep to ourselves until the baby arrives. Thank you for all the congratulations. I might not click on all of them because that I could be sitting here for an hour sort of going through them. Are you sure it's coming then? What will all the shipping delays? Yes, because we have our manifests all signed and our purchase orders all in line. So it's we have to pick it up, granted, but there shouldn't be an issue in terms of shipping delays. Nigel says, good luck. We're beyond luck now. This is our third. So Facebook user, never negative, always positive and encouraging as can be. That's sort of that's my jam. That's where I sort of come from. That's my, again, like, toys for me are about joy, are about fun. And if it's not fun and you're not finding joy in your toys and in your collecting, maybe it's the wrong hobby. Maybe wood whittling might be more satisfactory, or I don't know, dog breeding or something. I don't know. I genuinely don't know why anybody ever gets upset about GI Joes or toys in general. Anyway, might as well combine it all. I'm into all the news. Do you mean in terms of like me doing videos that are less GI Joe specific? I'm still planning to do GI Joe specific ones, but I'm gonna do sort of more videos, or maybe not more, but just sort of differentiate between sort of a GI Joe one and just sort of a general one. You can see behind me, like, there's other lines that I'm into. Mike from Me Collectibles knows very well that the one that I'm really, really obsessed with right now is called Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. If you don't know about it, check it out. It looks awesome. They got a comic book series to go with it. They're doing a tabletop role-playing game where you actually use the 6-inch figures as your pieces, and it just looks really, really awesome. And then like Marvel Legends, a little bit of Black Series, SH Figure Arts, Mythic Legions. It goes on and on and on. And so I just thought maybe I'll do a little bit more on that because people have been asking me to do it. I don't know why, but anyway. Any scoop on Spirit's release? Yes, we will get to that. I'm trying to sort of stay on top of these comments here. Roadblock. I'm all in. If they give if there's another Roadblock, I'm all for it. Half the reason I'm here is the positivity. This place is great. Can't watch half of the classified YouTube channels anymore. So much negativity there. Tristan, you make a very good point. There is one extremely positive classified YouTube channel. Now, it's not limited to classified. It is sort of GI Joe across the board. That is, of course, the Full Force podcast channel, which is fantastic. I guess in some way I'm kind of just throwing my hat into that ring of sort of trying to add more positive content. in what I agree with you in what sort of has become a very sort of toxic community, which is unfortunate. But Chuckles. Do you mean is he being revealed? No, I wish, because if I found that out, you would all know. And I don't think I could keep that a secret if that was the case. Just clarifying, I was kidding about the figures. You guys just enjoy them all, and I will patiently wait for the inevitable delivery. Yes, I know you will, Chris, and you are just like me. You are happy to get them whenever they arrive. Um, and if, for myself, and I believe for you as well, Chris, getting that pre-order in, I'm happy. I'll sit back and wait. I already know that a couple of the figures that I have on pre-order that we will see very soon. I say we will see very soon, but I won't. I maybe didn't make the first shipment, or my order is sort of not close enough to the top of the list for the first sort of arrival of figures, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna get them at some point. So, any spirit on Scoop's release? I'm in good spirits about that. I doubt that we will. You know what? I doubt that we would ever see a Scoop. Um, but never say never. We could. When's the 40th anniversary of the Deke cartoon series? Because that would coincide with a Scoop release, I think. Because he was in that he was in the miniseries that kicked that off, right? Operation Dragonfire. I think that was his first appearance. Um, Scoop would be amazing. Uh, and Chris says 89 was Deke. So 89, so 2029. I mean, if the line's still going in 2029, he's a shoe-in for that wave. Um, that's my speculation about Scoop. Tristan says, "Yep, I watch Chris's channel a lot. Started watching his live streams recently. Yes, Chris was inspired by me, obviously, to start doing more of his stuff live and interacting with people. I will take all credit for that. He may deny that, but I will stand. So I will stand by my claim that it was fully inspired by me. But anyway." Releases. Most of you probably already know this, but if you don't, surprise, Spirit, Storm Shadow, the Cobra Officer, and Crocmaster are all starting to land at retailers, at Canadian retailers specifically. So I know that at least two of the retailers that I talked to, at least two of them have either gotten product or are expecting product within the week. And it will be going out as fast as they can get it out. They know that people are just chomping at the bit to get this stuff. Now, as far as who is going to get what, that I don't know, because there may not be enough to go around with sort of the first batch, the first wave of the shipment. I do know that specifically Crocmaster is sounds like it's going to be very limited in numbers at first, but it's good news, right? I mean, anything is better than nothing. And if you don't get yours first, be patient. You'll get there. They're coming. We're not collecting NFTs too much longer. We should be seeing physical figures sooner rather than later. Chris, you can take all the credit, pal. There's other people that do live videos, let's be honest. And no one, I mean, there's 11 people watching this one. It's not like I'm influencing anybody. Kevin, no, surprise, no mention of Quick or Jinx yet. Those would be great. Yeah, I mean, they may come up, right, with the 40th anniversary. We have Slaughter, right, and then the rumored Falcon figures coming. So the next sort of by extension, the next step theoretically could be Jinx and Law and Order, Chuckles. Quick Kick is a weird one. I mean, I think there's other figures in the line that we could get. I mean, every time we have these videos and we kind of speculate, I look on my shelf and I kind of look at all the other vintage figures and other characters that we haven't gotten yet. And I think of the ones that I know that are coming. and it's yeah. I mean, Hasbro has a plan. I think we'll get Quick Kick. It's just, when will be a mystery until they choose to reveal it to us. Since Sergeant Slaughter is now officially in the classified mix, think we'll get the Marauders. Red Dog, wishful thinking. Um, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. And again, they're sort of doing a release of the film. Now it remains to be seen whether we'll get that in Canada or not in terms of screenings. I've still got my Blu-ray copies, so I mean, I'm happy even if I don't get to see it in theaters. I'll watch it on that day, um, at home with my kids, and that'll be fine with me. If that happens, I need Annihilator. Yeah, I mean, there's lots. We'll leave sort of the figure speculation. I want to sort of talk more about timelines, in terms of like actual physical figures. I'm less focused in the next 40 minutes on what we may or may not get in the line eventually. I'm more focused on what we may get physically in hand, within the next 6 to 8 months, more or less. That's sort of specifically what we're kind of looking at. So forgive me, I'm going to sort of skip past a bunch of comments here. Tristan, I see your comments, but I'm just, oh, I'm not even that far from the end. And I'm going to skip over some of the speculative ones. Facebook user, I'm thinking Hawk is in the lineup. Maybe. I don't know about that yet, but Tristan, the whole movie is on YouTube. I watch it all the time. I bought it on Blu-ray. It came up on Amazon at a pretty good price. I think I paid like $25 or 20 or $25 when it sort of popped up as a promo thing, and I obviously grabbed it. My advice on that is put it in your wish list or in your cart and just wait till it hits the price that you like, and then buy it. I wasn't searching for it every day. It was just sort of there, and I was waiting, stalking it, waiting for the price to hit. Possible Serpentor 2 versus Slaughter. I think Serpentor is, with some of the hints that they've been dropping and the suggestions, Mindbender's box, the art that's on there, the fact that we've got Slaughter. The only sort of speculation about sort of what we may get revealed that I'm going to do today is this. I suspect that sort of tied into Slaughter being a digital reveal but not a physical reveal, they weren't showing us the accessories. And I really, really think that the accessory that they're not talking about is going to be related to Arise Serpentor Arise in some way. Mindbender's box art is related to that. Slaughter by default is sort of related to Serpentor. They didn't show us this thing because maybe it would be like a dead giveaway that Serpentor is coming. I don't know. That's my speculation. But speaking of shipping issues, want to know something really crappy? Hasbro were ahead of schedule before China shut down again. Had that not happened, we would have been swimming in figures by now. Oh, so they're just in the Fruity Pebble mess. They're just sitting somewhere in a container, waiting to get in our hands. Tristan, I would be shocked if we don't see Serpentor soon. Yes, I do. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing, right? Like there's just all these starts and stops, and everything's ramping up, and then something gets shut down, and then it ramps up, and then something else happens, and then it ramps up, and there's not enough trucks, and there's not enough boats, and there's a holiday, or there's whatever. Like it just feels like this never ending stop start, and it's like one step forward, two steps back. It's just, yeah, it's yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Patrick says I just bought the Malaverse a week before. Yeah, I feel for you, man. Um, I'll be honest. I knew about that Sergeant Slaughter for months and months and months. It feels like forever. It feels like I've known about that figure coming for a long time, and I kept dropping hints. I kept trying to suggest to all you guys that watch these videos, like, I bet they make one. I kept saying, you know, Sergeant Slaughter owns his own rights. He can sell them to whoever he wants. And some of you just didn't want to believe me. Um, and I put that on you guys, not on me. But anyway, just quickly going through, I made a list of sort of all the figures that we saw digital reveals for, and then physical reveals, and then sort of have had dates. Those dates have moved. So the first ones that we got were, of course, Storm Shadow Spirit, Cobra Officer, and Crocmaster. Now, originally, the original ship dates that I saw a long, long time ago for those. And I saw them in a couple different spots. So speaking to Chris's point there, about sort of China having this negative impact. I think it's just been this domino effect where, like, there's just been one thing after another. But Crocmaster initially was scheduled for January. The other three were initially scheduled for February. Then they were, and they sort of still are, listed in Canada as August releases, despite the fact that I just told you that some retailers are going to have these figures now, so May, so like ahead of schedule, which is really to say that everything that I like, all this stuff on my list is subject to change, but it may be changed for the good. We were thinking that we would get Spirit, Storm Shadow, Officer, Crocmaster in the summer, July, August, because that's what the schedule was, but they're starting to come through. If some stuff can get out of China, we may see these other figures sooner rather than later. The sort of next thing that we got, of course, was Zaymot, Tomac, Stalker, the Viper 3-pack. Initially, all of those were scheduled for April. So I'll sort of go through the whole list, and then I'll come back to the dates because it'll make more sense when I sort of come back to it. Then we saw digital reveals and now physical reveals for Zorana, the Crimson Guard, and Dusty. And all of those initially were saying June release. I know of some subsequent waves that were meant to come in August and then October. All of that to say that, tentative release dates of February, April, June, August, and October was essentially a wave every 2 months. We don't appear to be getting that sort of now, but it may be that schedule is just sort of shifted a little bit. So if we do get, Spirit, Storm Shadow, Cobra Officer, Crocmaster now in May, then it may be the case that 2 months from now, which is July, we see the next wave, and then 2 months after that, do you see where I'm going with this? It may be that we've sort of gotten over the hump, is essentially what I'm suggesting, that we may start seeing figures more regularly. That is my sort of optimism and my sort of hopeful sort of position. I don't see why not, especially if things start moving a little bit out of China, and I think that the dates that I'm sort of looking at, there's a few figures that are showing delivery dates for July. There's figures that are showing delivery dates for August. Now there are some that are still showing for like November. I think that Viper 3-pack is still listed as potentially a November release. But I'm fine with that. I mean, the knowledge that we're getting anything is sort of good news to me. And the knowledge that we may see sort of a bit of a change of pace here. That we may see. I've been begging nobody, because I just speak into the void. But I've been begging for like a sort of a regular pattern. And it looks, now that I've sort of put all these numbers together and put all these dates together and put all these waves together, it looks like the GI Joe brand team's design is to be kind of 3 figures every 2 months, with sort of a deluxe or a 3 pack or a special edition or whatever sort of just mixed in there as well. Which means that if we get 3 figures every month, or sorry, 3 figures every 2 months, we could potentially be looking at like 6 waves for a year, which is 18 figures plus the extras, and that doesn't even factor in exclusives, right? So that's not even factoring in the Target exclusive, if you will. Who knows where we're gonna see those? um I'm at the point where, not to sort of cast asparaging, sort of slanderous things at Toys R Us, but I'm starting to distrust that Toys R Us will get that stuff. So I've started trying to get it through the States, whether that's through Hasbro Pulse or sort of a third party shipper from Target or what have you. Um, so they're going to cost a little bit more that way, but at least I get my pre-orders in and I know that I'm getting them. Um, let's take a look at the comments here. Do you guys have questions? Do you have comments? What are your thoughts? Does what I'm saying make any sense, or do I sound like a conspiracy theorist? Um, Tristan saw an interview with Slaughter. He pretty much made the Hasbro deal before the Valaverse one. I don't doubt that. And without sort of getting too deep into into the muck that is surrounding that, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro had Slaughter sort of in mind for the 40th anniversary a long time ago. When the line kicked off a couple years ago, and when the line was in development, they might have reached out and said, "Hey, we're doing a 6-inch GI Joe line. Are you interested? Would you be willing to allow us to use your likeness and so on and so forth?" Um, but yeah, then there's sort of people that are sort of on different sides of different brands, and it's like, I don't know why anybody's competing. Let's just be thankful that Sergeant Slaughter is available in whatever version you want. I know lots of people that bought the Mattel wrestling version, and that's their sort of classified stand-in, and it's all good. Like, whatever works for you. I was doing another video last night about another line, but we were talking about lines that cross over and sort of how people sort of cross the streams, so to speak. Um, and some people just said, like, I can't do it. I just can't have figures on a shelf that aren't the same brand or whatever. And others that were just like, I mix everything. That's the beauty of the 6-inch scale, is that everything kind of works with everything else. So I'm somewhere in the middle, but would like to see AV and Bat sooner than later. Chad, let's not get too greedy. I sent you one of each. You have them. You just want more of them. Yes, I think that's coming up. We'll see those in July. That date seems to be pretty steady. That one hasn't moved much. And it's, to the best of my knowledge, still sitting at July. Which hopefully works for people. I mean, the other thing too is there's not really much we can do, right? Like, we can bemoan all the delays, and we can just sort of point fingers at who's to blame or whatever. It's just bad. Everything's gone crazy. Tristan, you're saying I need to start paying on my pre-orders. Yes, probably very soon. The original, Chris, aka Diagnostic 80 from Full Force, says the original idea was to have it all staggered, so the reveals would happen a couple times and then you start getting the figures delivered. By that time, it would have been great. Figures in hand as you see new stuff revealed. Such a shame for the shipping, but it just is what it is. Yes, 100%. I hope, and I really do, I really do feel for Hasbro. Like, all this stuff is out of their control. The cost increases is out of their control. The delays are out of their control. all that stuff is out of their control, and they get blamed for it. I mean, they get dumped on for a bunch of stuff that they couldn't have predicted and couldn't really do anything about. I just really hope that before too long they can sort of get back on a schedule and get to some semblance of normalcy. Um, because I think complainers are going to complain, and the trolls will always be looking for something to nitpick. But for all the people that are sort of happy-go-lucky collectors, I think getting figures in hand every couple of months is perfect, right? If I get 3 figures every 2 months, and like you said, the new figure comes in and I'm playing with it, I'm like, oh, the new figure, and they're like, and then I'm like, oh, what's that over there? It's like, oh, a reveal. Oh, okay, cool. So it's like, oh, and that's the next one that I'm gonna get. Like, yeah, that's perfect, right? Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? I would be happy with 2 waves of sort of pre-orders, knowing 2 waves ahead, right? Like having a reveal and a digital render, and then when we get the next reveal, it's sort of that digital render becomes sort of a physical reveal, and we get another digital render. I like this. I like this pattern that they're sort of doing. It works for me. The schedule is okay. It's not going to break the bank for me at this pace. So, you know, Nigel, makes total sense. Thanks. You mentioned Target third-party shippers. I'm listening. I don't use them. I have either friends in the States or I use Hasbro Pulse, and so I don't actually use the third-party shippers. I know that I think Tristan does. You could probably message Tristan. Tristan lives in the middle of nowhere, and so that's his best option. Is my understanding. Forgive me, Tristan, if that's not quite accurate, but. Larry, I'm happy to have my brother's condo in the States for the Target stuff. Well, there you go. Larry's going to be everybody's third-party shipper going forward. So everybody just blast his his message box. When do you think Retro Line will hit Walmart shelves in Canada? That I don't know. And the Walmart ones I find more frustrating than anything else. I'm really hoping to get my hands on that Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends classic Doctor Strange. I'm patiently waiting to see whether or not it comes into Canada or not. Um, Walmart Canada is even worse than Toys R Us at never telling anybody what's coming, and everybody just relying on being in the shop to buy. I was there buying coat hangers one day, and they had I think it was like a Black Series figure that I was like, oh, cool. It was like, didn't expect it. It was just there. I grabbed one and moved on with my life. I but again, I don't need any of these. I want them all. I just don't need any of them. And so if I never get them, I never get them. It'll be too bad. I think once we start seeing them pop up in the US, that's when my sort of ears start perking up. That's when I start kind of actively trying to track them down. Because there's no sense trying to track them down now if they're not even out in the States. Um, if they're not out in the States and we don't have them, it is what it is. This may be similar to what we're seeing with this wave, though. I mean, they could show up in Canada first. Like I said, though, we won't know until they just show up. Speaking only for myself, I know that as soon as I see them, I'll probably be buying most of them because I know that everybody wants them. And if I find them, I'll grab them and sort of reach out to people that I'm in close contact with, and and help people out. And I hope everybody else will do that as well. That's the whole point of the group. That's the whole point of the community. So, Chad, they look best in numbers. Yes, you are right, my friend. They are both army builders, and they do look best in numbers. I have 3 of each, because I got ahead of the curve and did a little bit of digging on shipping dates for those as well. So I kind of knew when they were coming and how to get them, which is why you have one as well, which is why a couple other people also have them. Kevin, I just bought Andre the Giant Bigfoot at Walmart. We'll use him as a Joe Common Soldier. Andre the Giant Bigfoot at Walmart. I don't know what that is. Andre the Giant Bigfoot. Andre the Giant, I know who that is in terms of the wrestler, but Bigfoot, is that a there's something there that I'm missing, I think. Tristan, cross border pickups, that's the service I use. Yes, it's and yes, he lives in one of the most rural areas of Newfoundland. Mailing address needs to have verbal directions to my house. That's wild. Like, really? Like, you have to note, like, take a left at this spot. Oof, that's tough, man. That's old world style. That's I heard about somebody that was in Ireland recently that was trying to find. He was asking somebody for directions, and he was asking for the street name, and they said, "Well, it doesn't have a street name. You just turn here, and then you turn here, and then you're there." And he said, "Yeah, but how do I know when to turn?" And they said, "Well, it's you turn here." And he was like, "Yeah, but that what?" Anyways, be thankful that you have an address, I guess, Tristan. That's that's the moral of that story. WWE figure, $6 million man. I might be more confused now than I was before. Andre the Giant, Bigfoot, $6 million man, WWE. If you guys know what he's talking about, great. But I don't. I'm very confused. But that being said, I'm quite tired from being busy this weekend. So maybe I'm just not putting it together properly in my brain. Um, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, the this release schedule, that's the standard release waves, but there's also, like I sort of mentioned, the exclusive stuff. Now I don't have access to the exclusive stuff in terms of shipping dates or any of that knowledge, because between Walmart and Toys R Us, they don't really feel the desire to share any of that information with us. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so difficult to get that information. You would think, I've talked about why exclusives exist in the past, and a big part of it is because if you carry a unique toy, you're going to draw a customer into your store. There's a reason that Walmart's toy department is always in the far back corner. It's the same reason that milk is at the back of the grocery store. You have to walk past a whole bunch of other stuff to get there. The point of exclusives for big box retailers is so that you will go to their store over another store. If I don't know that you're going to get it, I'm not going to your store. Why won't you tell me if you're getting it or not? I do not understand why they sort of withhold that information. The only thing that I can think is that they just don't know. And by that I mean, like, there's just not somebody in a marketing department that is sort of clever enough to understand that we're out here looking for that stuff. Now, that being said, somebody mentioned, I think it was in this group or it was in another GI Joe group, and I thought I would mention it, that the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends figure, which is Ulick, I think is his name. He's like a troll or a ogre or something like that. I don't know exactly what he is. Walmart decided not to take all their stock on that figure. And so if Walmart, or I can only assume Toys R Us in Canada, essentially booked, say, 30,000 units of a figure, and then they only take 10, 15, or 20,000 units of that figure, the remaining figures go into essentially like a into circulation for online retailers. Ulick is now being offered by online retailers, e-collectibles being one of them. So if you need Ulick and you couldn't find them at Walmart because they didn't take stock, that stock does sometimes end up at online retailers. Now, whether it will or not remains to be seen. But I've seen some people saying, like, oh, it's only a matter of time before it does. That's just not true. If Walmart sees the sales that they want, they'll take all the stock, and then it's just going to be Walmart. So don't hold out is essentially what I'm saying. If you see, If you see a toy, buy it. That's the best time to buy a toy, is when you see it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. That's my advice to you. Tristan, the house is listed as 17B, but I have specifically that it's the second house behind number 17, or they drop it off there. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like a carriage house kind of thing. And if you don't mention that it's not, a basement suite, because I think probably people would assume that it's a basement suite. Didn't I send you something, Tristan? I don't think I put that in there, because I think I went through Canada Post and it didn't give me that option. But you got it, I think, from what I remember. And Tristan said stuff like that happens with Amazon exclusives. Winners gets them sometimes. Yes, but it's really just a matter of essentially like those retailers passing on stock, or not picking up all of the stock. So Kevin, any whispers about Snow Job? Fingers crossed he comes with Battle Bear. I feel like that would be a good combo. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've said, like, if they do Snow Job, I really hope they do Snow Serpent, or sort of another like snow. I really need to have sort of a yin and a yang when we get to what's the word I'm thinking of? Like ecosystem based figures. If it's water based, I need wetsuit plus a hydro viper. If it's Snow Job, I need a Snow Serpent, that kind of thing. So nothing yet, but I mean, again, those are very much figures that I think are just a matter of time. So be patient. I know the Dreadnoks guys, right? The Dreadnoks guys are like, give me all the Dreadnoks. And I'm like, if they gave you all the Dreadnoks, like if the next 3 waves were just only Dreadnoks, you'd buy those. And then the wave after that would be like G.I. Joes again. Like on the good guy. I mean, they're all G.I. Joes, but then you'd have a wave of like, Chuckles, Jinx, and whoever or whatever. And you'd be like, what? No Dreadnoks? And it's like, you can't please everyone. That's just the way that it works. Has there ever been any info about actual sales for classifieds? Just how many of these guys they are selling? No, not that I'm aware of. I don't know if anybody sort of directly asked that question of them, and I don't know if they're willing to directly answer that question either. It's a lot. I do know from some sort of I mean, I don't know how insider information it is or what, but like I do know that they sold a lot more than they thought they would, and that the order quantities for like each wave has gone up. So there's lots out there. Like it's not we're kind of over that hump of like, well, how many people are going to buy this line? We're 50 figures deep, right? Like they're not guesstimating, the market here. The market is big. There's going to be enough figures for everybody, I think, going forward. It's just a matter of the logistics. It's just a matter of Walmart getting their retro carded figures. It's a matter of Toys R Us getting their figures. It's a matter of the great Canadian online retailers of getting figures in hand. Nobody's sort of holding out or withholding this stuff. It's just sort of inconvenient circumstances. Tristan, you sent me Breaker Here Raj sign. Okay, good. I thought that was the case, but I couldn't. I realized that I don't think I've included that instruction. So, Chris, I always call it mission based. Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's probably the best way to. What if they did? Oh man, what if they did like special missions waves? Like, what if what if there was like a super weird combination of 3 characters? And Lenny was like, yeah, because it's from issue 14 of G.I. Joe Special Missions. That would be great. That would be a deep cut if they started doing stuff like that. Toy Snowman being a Hasbro dealer to get some of the exclusives buy you have to the site. Yeah, E-collectibles as well. I know for sure. And like Mike at E-collectibles has Ulick, and I think it's arriving next week or something like that. Like typically when they're offered that product too, it's available at the warehouse, so it's quick to get it. Um, which is nice. So like if you missed out on something and it pops up on one of those retailers, you know that it's coming soon. Um, we'll get snow job and Arctic mission destro. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that at all. The reason I'm okay with that is because I would get multiple snow jobs and I would get multiple destros, and then I would have multiple. I would pop the heads and swap the heads, and I'd have multiple sort of snow forces. Give me Tiger Force Blizzard, and I'm good. What a weird combo. So he's still in his like parka, in the jungle. Is it cold in the jungle at night? Maybe that's I just that was always a weird choice to me that they would use that figure um for for a Tiger Force. But no. Nigel, I'm a Dreadnought guy. Just give me them. Yeah, and I mean that's everybody's got their favorites, right? Like there's the original 13 guys. There's the nothing after 1987 guys. There's all different. So if they mix it up, it just keeps people interested longer. It's good marketing. I'm just saying. Watch the site. Oops. Yes, Larry. Watch the site, and they pop up. They pop up totally randomly. Um, and there's never going to be an announcement. Like there's never going to be a pre-order window for one of those. Um, so it's really just they just pop up. Hasbro Canada reaches out to all the retailers. Like I think they probably got the same email, and it goes, "Hey, we've got 5,000 of these. How many do you want?" So, Chris, no actual numbers, only that classified is the hottest selling. Um, I mean, how could it not be? Am I right? It's the best figures. They're the best figures that Hasbro's making right now. I'll stand behind them. They have the best articulation. I still say, even with the price going up, I still say that they're still great value for money. The articulation's great. The accessories are great. The decos are great. Like they're not skimping on anything. This line is awesome. And if you don't agree, kick rocks. Kindly kick rocks. Pulse are big fans of the G.I. Joe brand team. Yes. Yeah. Who's not a big fan of the G.I. Joe brand team? They're doing awesome. Is the new Snake Eyes Timber repaint the Mystery Animal 2-pack, or is that something totally different? No, that is the Mystery Animal 2-pack. That was the sort of rumored Animal 2-pack that everybody thought could be Law and Order, or could have been Mutton Junkyard, or it could have been anything. It is the Snake Eyes and Timber repaint, which I'm all for. I love Snake Eyes. Chris says Snake Eyes and White Timber is Ariel. Yes. I love Snake Eyes. I sort of started at the beginning of was it 2021? Regardless of when I started, I'm actively trying to get all of the versions, the vintage Snake Eyes. So the 3 3/4 and 4-inch. So the Real American Hero and I guess Valor versus Venom, and all that kind of stuff, into the moderns in the 25th and the 50th anniversary and the Pursuit of Cobra and all that kind of stuff. There's like 68 versions of that, and they're all awesome. We've got a bunch of versions of Snake Eyes. I'm here for all of them. I love them. Bring on more versions of Snake Eyes. Bring on more redecos. Bring on weird decos. Bring on European decos and Indian decos and Argentinian decos and whatever. Change his name. Give him a different. Put a logo on his chest. Do whatever. I'm in for all of it. Any hope for October Guard? My brain would need all or none, so not sure they'd commit to 5 to 6 figures. I could see it. I don't know that it's, October Guard is a weird one because it's not nearly as iconic. I mean, they're iconic to GI Joe fans, but as far as GI Joe as a brand in general, I don't know that October Guard is sort of one of the widely known sort of sub teams or whatever you kind of want to call them. Lots of great characters and potentially lots of great figures, um, which I think we will get. It's just a matter of sort of when and which ones and all that kind of stuff. Um, David, welcome, buddy. I told you that I would try to sort of hold the release date announcements to towards the end. I didn't, but I'll fill you in on sort of the info after the fact, or you can go back and watch it or message me or whatever. Maybe Blizzard has low iron and needs the Parker because he's always cold. That could be true. What's the Reynolds? He may have Reynolds disease, I think is what it's called, where you have poor circulation, so you're always cold. Chris, probably not right now with the state of the war in Ukraine. I think you're probably right. I think that's sort of something that may, even if it was in the works, may get sort of bumped to a later date for obvious reasons. Peter Neufeld says, Christopher McLeod, okay, thanks. Disappointed it was not something new. Yes. I get the disappointment in sort of another version of Snake Eyes and Timber. I get it. I do. I totally understand. I think of it, there's kind of two sides of it. For me, I'm super excited to get it. I love that Timber figure. I'm happy to get more to sort of build out, a wolf pack, so to speak. And Snake Eyes looks fantastic. And like I said, I love versions of Snake Eyes. Now, if you're somebody that was sort of looking for figures to skip, maybe that's one that you can skip, right? Because you've already got, a couple versions of Snake Eyes and potentially already got a version of Timber. So maybe it gives your wallet a break. I mean, there's no downside to repaints. There's no downside to redecos. It's nobody's forcing you to buy any of these, let alone all of them. Like I am. Chris, I was too. I would, yeah, a little bit disappointed that we sort of didn't get something different. Chris was too, but I'm digging that Timber in white. I love the Timber in white. I hope we get a black one too now. Now that redecos of Timber are sort of a thing. Give me all the versions. Give me like a more brown version. Give me a black version. I love the white version. Why not, man? Maybe at some point there's like they do like another head sculpt. Maybe there's like a tongue out kind of happy Timber. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for Timber. I'm here for Timber and Snake Eyes. More versions, please. I've got that Fortnite one coming too, which apparently got bumped up to July, which I'm hopeful for. I would love to get that figure. It's just a redeco, and I love it. I want it. I completely forgot to humble brag. I just bought the deluxe 00 Snake Eyes. I've been grinning from ear to ear for weeks. It is still my favorite figure. That 00 Snake Eyes is still my favorite deco in the classified line of Snake Eyes. I love that figure. And to that point, Peter says, yes, it's cool. Plus, it kind of gives people the 00 version of Snake Eyes, but in more of a green than a brown uniform. It may. Yes, you're absolutely right. I was having that conversation with somebody either this morning or yesterday. Essentially saying if you missed the 00 Snake Eyes, this might be sort of the next best thing. This might be the closest thing we're going to get to that figure. Now, we only saw a digital reveal, so I'm very, very curious to see the physical reveal. But it does look like sort of where the color is changed is very similar to where they changed the color on the 00 Snake Eyes. So whether it's going to be a very similar color or not, I don't know. We will see. That's a solid point. You're welcome. I can see them doing a Python Patrol Croc Master with a red Fiona. Bring it on. And then 2 more babies in some other colors. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. No question that will happen. Yeah, I mean, the repaints. you got to understand that the repaints are just ways for them to reuse molds and to sort of be cost effective with parts usage. And any time that they can sort of, you know, pay back their sort of molds multiple times means theoretically more money to put into new molds. So it's not like, you know, if every figure was a completely retooled, brand new figure, we would be paying twice as much for these figures. We'd be getting half as many figures. We'd be, you know, we'd be redecos, repaints, reuse is all part of it. It's you're gonna see it in every toy line, just about. Um, you don't believe me? Go dig through some other toy lines. There's a lot of parts reuse in a lot of different lines. Um, it's weird that that's one of the complaints with Classify. Marvel Legends was using that Bucky Cap body for years and years and years, and people sort of were complaining, but you know, if the deco was good enough, people kind of let it go. And people still bought the figures. It's not like people weren't buying those figures. So. David, I love the 00 Snake Eyes, but I still might need to get the new Snake Eyes in Timber. Yep. That's correct. That's how I feel. Do I need another version of Snake Eyes? No. The day that it goes up for pre-order, will I be ordering it? 100%. There's no way I'm not buying that figure. Anyway, we are right at the hour mark, give or take. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anything you guys want to chat about before I log off? As I said, potentially for the month. So if you speak now or for at least a month, hold your peace. Yep. Yeah, that's it. With the Blue Ninja Pack, do you think we might see a green shirt set for G.I. Joe? This would be great for army building for Joes. I don't know. I think it's possible. There's precedence in the line for there to be, green shirts, so to speak. I'm not a huge fan of the green shirts because I always, I tend to buy like more Cobra troop builders. I tend to think of G.I. Joe, like anyone in G.I. Joe is being able to take on, 3 to 4 Cobra troops on their own. So I don't need to army build the G.I. Joe side because the G.I. Joe side, there's so many unique characters. And they're obviously going to kick Cobra's ass. So I mean, I'd probably grab 1 or 2. But we'll see. I'd be more for troop building on the Cobra side. But. Chris, thanks for another great stream. Absolutely, thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining. I'm really looking forward to the videos that you're going to be posting very, very soon. And like I said, I will share them in the group for you guys as soon as I can, as soon as they pop up. Every time they pop up, I'm like feverishly like trying to cut and paste and share it and put a little note of my own on it so that you guys get it as quickly as you can. I knew what you meant there, Nigel. I have to get back to the edit. Yes, you are a slave to the edit. Congrats, Adam, and see you on the flip side. Thank you, Dean. Thank you. I'm not going to be gone, right? Like that's, I'll be around. There probably won't be as many videos. There probably won't be as many weekly polls. There probably won't be the weekend swap meet. I may not be deleting as much stuff as I normally do, but we'll see. And maybe me taking a step back will make the group better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll assess when I get back. Good luck with the baby. Thank you very much, Kevin. We will sometime during the month. Congrats again. Yes, thank you for the congratulations again from everybody. You guys are great. It's always my pleasure to do this. It's always super, super fun. Like I said, if something comes up that I feel compelled to sort of jump on, you'll probably get very short notice. It'll probably be one of those things where it's like, if there's some reveal that comes up that I really want to shout about, When it comes up first thing in the morning, I'll probably do a video that evening, and it'll be quick and it'll be um, pretty casual. And I may not even post it as an event. I may just do them live and like I was doing before I got StreamYard. Um, Speaking of StreamYard, again, I got to shout out Mike at Collectibles, who reached out to me and offered this subscription to me free of charge. So thank you, Mike. I encourage you guys all to go get your pre-orders in if you haven't already. I assume you all have already gotten your pre-orders in with Mike at Collectibles. But if you haven't, get on over there and get some pre-orders in. Yeah, I will say this right now. If you didn't get pre-orders in for that wave that's sort of landing, you're going to be out of luck, because it's not like you can get a pre-order in now and get delivery next week. That's not going to happen. Um, but what I say to sort of wrap this all up and to sort of come back around, pick your retailer, build a relationship with your retailer, make your retailer Mike at Collectibles. And just trust that they're going to get them. Order with one place consistently. You'll get great service that way. You probably get better service if sort of they know that you're going to be coming to them for your orders and stuff like that. So that's my advice. A break, forced or voluntary, can be a great game changer. Congrats again, and see you when you get back. Great stream today. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your comments. Thank you guys all for your comments. Yes, the break is very much voluntary. I'm just really excited to spend time with the baby, with my family. Just kind of take a step back, reassess, reevaluate, refocus, kind of fine tune and tweak a couple things. But like I said, we'll be back better, bigger, better, faster, stronger. Come June. So on that note, thank you guys all for joining me, and take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.